So what did I learn from this group project? I was group leader, and I'm usually not group leader, but I'm usually the supporting group leader. So I'm there, and telling people what to do, but it's not actually my responsibility. So that was actually a big thing for me because I've found that I'm a very passive person, so a lot of times I found it difficult that I actually do need to be more strict with someone, if that makes sense. And also, a semester-long group project is very difficult, but how will this help me? Like I said, I've mentioned this so many times in my blogs, but we will be in groups for the rest of our lives. For myself, I'm going to be hopefully in a museum. It will be stressful, but if I know how to work with groups and be a part of a group and communicate well.
Most important thing I learned in this group is giving constructive criticism, I would say. Normally my honesty makes people mad, but now I can make them less mad while still getting my point across. The presentation I'm most proud of in this group is our Chapter 4 assignment. I think we did really well. Everybody seemed engaged, and I think we all understood the chapter and conveyed everything. We were most cohesive then as a group. The worst thing was probably volunteering. It was a logistical nightmare.
I enjoyed the whole experience of team working and such. Because sometimes there are hurdles and it's a lot of problem solving and kind of quick thinking, and you have to deal with opposing views and just have to work past them because everyone had the craziest schedule. But we managed. But somehow we managed. So I plan to work in kitchens for the remainder of my life. It's just a lot of dealing with people and problem solving and quick thinking. But all in all, you gotta learn a lot by working with people.
But I learned a lot from this experience that I just learned a lot more than I thought I would. Usually when I'm making schedules at work, I usually just give them my ability and they tell me when to come in. But this semester I learned that it's not just that. There's a lot more deliberation with when to bring people in and when you schedule them to come in, and how much it will mess up your entire plan when they call you and say, oh, I'm not coming in because X, Y, and Z happened, and how you then have to scramble to try and get them to come in. Let's see, why and how? Well, I'm a theater major, so I'm going to literally be working in groups for the rest of my life. Whether it's on the stage, behind the stage, or in the administration office, I will be working in teams of people to create something for others. And it's important to know how to work with them, whether they're really easy to work with or whether they're really difficult to work with. So the volunteer work were the best and the worst parts of this. It really was because the best parts of working with the group and the volunteer thing is that we all kind of got a little bit closer and it was a lot of fun. The worst part was trying to get us all in the same place. So just trying to find a place that would accept us to just come in and start doing volunteer hours with minimal training, I guess.
I would say the biggest thing I learned from this experience would be definitely how to work better as a team, because that's one of the things I struggle with. Is I like to do things very individually. I like to have control over everything, so it's kind of hard to learn how to work in a team, but I would say that's the biggest thing that I learned from this. This will definitely help me in my future just because when I go into my career, I want to be a psychologist and I want to have my own private practice. And in order to do that, I need to, one, know how to manage people because all of these people are going to be my employees. And then I also need to learn how to work with them as a group. So that's essentially all we did this semester. I would say my favorite part about this semester would definitely be a mix of volunteering, just because I love helping people, and volunteering at the food bank and the sewing place that we did was a lot of fun. But it would also be presentations, and I wouldn't have said this before this semester just because I have such a fear of public speaking, but this class kind of helped me get over that a lot, so I definitely think that was one of the best parts. One of my least favorite would probably be trying to coordinate our schedules as a group, because since we have 6 people and we're all very busy just like everyone else, it's kind of hard to get us all in one place at the same time.
The biggest thing I learned from this group project is you can't control everything. I'm used to being the group leader of my groups, and I tell people to do, and they do it, but in this group I wasn't the group leader, and every time I try to control or like take over something, it just kind of backfired. So sometimes you just gotta let people do their own thing, and that's one of the biggest things I learned, and how will this help me in the future? Sometimes you gotta let people do their own thing. And my favorite part of this semester, that's a toughie. There weren't a whole lot of favorite parts. But something I did enjoy was when we did our presentation and we did well. And my least favorite part was volunteering. I don't like working for free. That's why I won't do it in the future. Is that a bad thing to say?
The most challenging part of being in a semester-long group.
Coordinating
Schedules. Yeah, with 6 people, that was definitely very difficult.
Because between all of us is like, you have, I don't even know how many credit hours you're taking.
18.
18, and then everyone here has a
18.
job.
Yeah.
So that was incredibly difficult to
So what's the best thing about it? Definitely what I would say is I feel like we really wouldn't have communicated at all in this class if we weren't in a group because we were all so different.
Yeah.
No.
No, probably not.
Also, I think I really liked the volunteering aspect, even though that was also one of the worst parts about it, just in terms of scheduling.
Definitely.
I think that I never probably would have gone out of my comfort zone of Mary Washington to actually go into the Fredericksburg community otherwise, and I actually really liked that. So
Yeah, all my previous volunteer work has been through like core.
Yeah,
Having
exactly.
to go outside of core definitely made us
yeah,
calling different places all across Fredericksburg.
To be honest, most of my life is consumed by school, so
it's true. Yeah, mine too. So I forget that there's an outside world.
Oh, I don't forget. I just try to ignore it.
I avoided.
That group work is not easy, and it's not easy to coordinate a bunch of people.
No, it's we've kind of already said a lot of those
Yeah.
points, but I mean,
it all
Learning to
it's all
communicate
that.
is also a big part.
Yeah.
Learning to compromise because it's 6 different people with 6 very different viewpoints depending on the topic.
Yeah.
And trying to come to an agreement, even just a compromise, was super difficult sometimes.
Yes.
Because even like reading like Blink or something, we all had our own interpretations of
Yeah.
what the chapter was talking about. So combining 6 different interpretations of one like chapter
To
is
answer
not
a
the
single
Very difficult.
question.
Also, I'm pretty sure outside of college, groups get more stuff done than individuals do, so I think we were supposed to learn that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree.
We did. I
agree.
think that was
Yeah.
definitely learned.
At the beginning, we looked back at our fears, and our biggest fears were doing all the work ourselves, or me doing all the work by myself. That was my biggest fear.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of us.
I definitely had mine down as people procrastinating as one of the big ones.
Yeah.
We kind of did, but it was okay.
I
Not
mean,
a whole lot.
not
Not to the point where we
I
were
never
scrambling,
felt
but-
like so anxious I wanted to cry, so I feel like
Yeah.
I never felt that.
no, so I feel like we did okay.
I feel like we did okay.
We're pretty
and the
successful with that.
Procrastination had enough room where it wasn't going to kill us.
That's true, yeah.
Another fear was getting kicked out of the group, which whenever we had a problem or conflict, we always made sure we had a meeting and discussed it right then and there.
And
So
there's all
everyone
6
was
of
on the
us.
same page.
And we're all still
here.
Actually, no.
Sorry, just to tell you. but-
No, and then our biggest goal for the semester was communication. We did have a few problems here and there, but I mean, we're all here right now, so I feel like we effectively communicated.
Yeah, let's see, there was the group chat, the online, whatever, and just
and emailing,
and emailing,
texting, yeah.
and all
Mostly
of
the group chat though, that was our biggest.
that. The group chat was
That
the
group
biggest
chat was
thing.
our lifesaver.
Yes, all the time. Or the several times we had to do the schedules up on the board to make sure that and then take pictures
Yeah,
of
we
it
had
and
to make
put
sure,
it in,
yeah.
so that we all understood.
Yeah, that is true.
But the failed doodle poll.
The failed
The failed doodle poll.
Yeah.
It worked.
Even though each of us picked a different day.
Yeah.
So yeah, communication we definitely worked on a lot. We had a few hiccups, but I mean, everything went really well, I would say, with this project.
Yeah, it
Much
went really
better
well.
than I ever could have imagined.
Yes.